This is like part 6 or 8. We're gonna start building some big power. 120th, 130. Let's say they're open and then boom, they close. And you got the whole stroke of pressure.
This bolt snapped off in the case.
See,
just been wallering itself
this is not
out.
supposed to be like that. See how it's wallered the hole out? There's a stock cam. This little O-ring, I think they implemented this in 2020-ish. And 5 pilots for reality shows. 6, including The Bachelorette.
And you start with the oil pump screws. You want to make sure the straight edge is sitting flat. Now we need to time this thing.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ryan Kruesi Originals, and this is my heterosexual life partner, Trent Mercado. Today, we're going to be doing the easiest cam install in the entire world. Or not. This is like part 6 or 8 or somewhere in the Fast Johny build. We have been building this Fast Johny so far. We've done a set of our Skynet wheels, Brembo brake conversion, Legends cartridges in the front, some archetype adjustable risers with some fancy nest bars and some grips. We're putting on a RCS 19. We're gonna do a little how-to video on that, though that'll be a short coming out soon because we get a lot of questions on how to wire these up and use them with ABS, so we're gonna show you. Trask Performance swing arm, a bunch of fancy boy stuff, and today we're gonna start building some big power. We're gonna do a 128 big bore kit, that's coming. 120th, 132. Tom just gave me the 132 numbers over there. I wasn't sure if that was gang signs or maybe it was a bet I was supposed to make. Maybe, but yes, it's going to be a 132 with a good but modest cam. We're running the same cam that we ran in the first motor in the white Street Glide that we built for the build-off, and that made 132 and 138 horsepower and a 117. It's going to be a 132. It should be pretty good. It's going to be very, very torquey. It's the Andrews 848 cam. We'll talk a whole lot more about that later when we get to installing. I'm going to break down the specs, the alternative specs, and we're going to get down to business. I'm mostly going to watch and preach while Trent does the work. I like this part in my life. I really like coming to this point. I really do. This is the whole S&S cam chest kit. We are not running an S&S cam. I'll talk to you about that in a second, but this comes with everything. Adjustable push rods, your gaskets, your seals, inner bearing, this is a Torrington style bearing, cam plate, oil pump, tappet retainers, like these are a necessity. I'll show you why on the other stock stuff. It's junk in a little bit. Comes with some tappets, your chain adjuster, hydraulic, this is a bigger one, much nicer, a lot truer retention, and all your hardware assembly lube. You will use this whole entire tube putting this thing together. Why we don't run S&S cams, I think their cam chest is the best on the market. They have the best cam plate and pump setup there is, period. It's the only one that you can adjust the volume and like really set up. I'm not a fan of their cams. They have a very high overlap, a very high duration. So to make power with their cams, you can make big power, but you got to have a lot of compression and you really got to wring its neck for the most part. And I like a modest lift to good lift, to have a little more top end, but Harleys aren't really top end motors. It's torque is what makes things fun and what makes the tire rip the ground apart, you know, and really makes you rip around a corner. So we go with a lower duration. I like a much lower duration and smaller overlap, which makes more cylinder pressure. Basically means that when the piston is climbing, the valves are closed longer when you're building pressure. So they close earlier, you have more pressure all the way up, or if they close later, so say they're open and then they close, boom, you have a short duration. But say they're open and then boom, they close, and you got the whole stroke of pressure, you get a lot more cylinder pressure, and that's what gives you that whop, that whack right out of the hole. That's what you want, that's what's fun. So we're running an Andrews 485 cam. This is what I ran in my bagger, my 117 motor, and it just, the power band on it was just extremely linear. It pulled out of the hole really, really well. I was very impressed. Made 132 horsepower and 138 foot-pounds in a stock 117. This is going to be a 132. We definitely could run a much, much bigger cam, but like I said, don't really want to ride around at 5,000 to 6,000 RPMs. It's a lot more fun when the power hits really hard at 3,000. So that's what we're going for. Tire fryer. Trent, I'm going to read you some specs. You got stock specs.
I don't have stock specs, but
it's a 432 lift, right?
That's what the internet forums are saying.
Well, this is a 485 lift.
First things first on this beautiful cam job, soak the lifters. Super high performance 2050 conventional oil.
Why are you doing that?
So they can build up pressure, right? Inside the lifter. They're hydraulically controlled. So you need to pump oil in them before they go on the bike so you don't put them in dry.
Otherwise they won't have no pressure.
There we go.
We have a tool that goes in there and you pump them up, but if you just put them in a cup of oil and let them sit while you do the cam job, which is going to take a lot of time anyways, they'll be fully pumped up by the time we get there. Lets all the air bubbles get out of them, lets them fill full of oil, so you've got full hydraulic pressure when you go to set your push rods down the road.
There's the professional explanation. I was just taught this is how you do things. First disassembly, these plastic lifter retainers. These are notoriously junk in these M8s. And these bolts are notorious for snapping off into the case too. We've had like, what did that one have? We had a customer bring one in fresh from
68
Harley.
miles.
Yeah, it had like 68 miles on it. This bolt snapped off in the case.
Yeah, those were already broken. So these, which this bike has 30, right? Is that what we found out?
16.
16 blows me away. Iowa or wherever is tough on bikes, but
Ohio.
Look at this. Holy shit. Look how fucking hogged out this is already. It's kind of, see,
Just been wallering
this
itself
is not
out.
supposed to be like that. See how it's wallered the hole out? She's wallered. That's like a walleye right there. Man, can you see that gap? Is that showing up on camera? Yeah. Yeah, so this is definitely something you want to change. This guy's cooked. It's been hit.
Wow.
Look at that. Punched in right there too.
This one's all wallered out too.
Wallered.
Wallered.
So we're going to replace those with S&S comes with just the aluminum ones. Normally we would run Tap It Right. It's a whole new lifter that has all that stuff built in. It's very, very nice, but this came with some S&S ones. They're a little more of a challenge to set up, but we'll show you how to do that.
Ooh.
You have to hit it in there with a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta hit it in there with a hammer.
Tap them dudes in there. When you're working on fresh factory Torx bit style hardware, you shouldn't ever just like stick that Torx bit in there and crank on it because it's not going to seat in all the way because they're tight. You want to tap it in with a hammer. It'll seat into the torque really hard. And that's when you have like a full bite down in the thing, and then you're not going to blow out your Torx bit. That one's smoked. I would throw that one in the trash. These damn torque bits, they're always stripping out. No, you're not doing it right. You gotta penetrate them. You gotta have full penny, and a good torque socket. That's for sure. Yeah. Your Harbor Freight sockets are not gonna cut it.
Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it. So look at this guy. This is your factory adjuster, chain tensioner. It's like a cantilever setup. I don't think that's a real word for that. I kind of just made that. It sounds like that's what this would be. Off of one of these kind of deals. So it's definitely not the best. It works, but it's not the best. The S&S one is a center push, and then it has two posts, so it's driving up evenly. So it's just a better, truer tension. If that really makes a difference, which it might, that would affect timing in the most microscopic way, but you know. Then we can get into the gear drive versus chain drive debate, and I'll stick with the chain drive all day long. I have a tool for that. We should try it. I wonder if it works on the M8. Oh, not a chance in hell. Man, I could definitely 3D print one of these though.
Oh, you should.
So not a chance. This is a cam lock tool for a twin cam, which I've never used. I always just stick, you don't even got to do that when you're taking them off, just blow them off. But when you're torquing them down, you need to lock them. I usually just stick a screwdriver in between them and lock them down. Not the best way, but it works really, really good. But
Where the
I've never used this. I think I'm going to 3D print one for the M8. Big 3D print guy.
You should go show them your 3D printer.
Yeah.
Have we shown the people the 3D printer yet?
We got a new purchase. It's pretty stoked. I've built a lot of 3D rock crawling courses for little RC cars at the house. In front of my entertainment center, they're like puzzle pieces that lock together, and it's a bunch of different rock features all across the front. Printed them here at the shop. Super dope.
Everybody in San Diego was asking where you were at, and I was like, he's rock crawling, man. He's rock crawling his ass off.
Just, you know, standard, move it around. Hit the oil pump first, and
I was trying to show good practice.
it doesn't really matter on this. When you torque it in, you're putting it back together. That shit all matters. This is all coming out and going in the trash, so really just a waste of time when it comes down to it. Oh, yeah. Need that guy, none of this other shit. There she is. Oh, come on, go up there, buddy.
There she is.
There's a stock cam. Small and flaccid. There's a stock oil pump, which these are super easy. So now all we gotta do is pull this dude out, put the new pump in, assemble everything, which means just putting lube on them and sticking them in holes. That's really it. There's not even any much bolting. Does it have any specs on her? Alternative specs?
I got a part number, and then it says
Look at how worn that thing is in the cam on the
140A2. Yeah.
Look at this.
Take a look. Have a look-see.
You see that wear line where it's real shiny? That's where it's wearing through the hardening surface. That means that inner bearing is pretty close to being toast, so I mean we're changing it anyways, but this is a good time to do it. And, man, this bike's...
Had a rough life.
Yeah, I'd say Homeboy was riding the out of this thing. It only got 16,000 miles on it, but they've been hard ones. All right, on to the next step. Let's pull this dude out of here, and then it's assembly time. Man, I hate it when I finish my monster, and I didn't even know it.
You forgot you ate a candy bar yesterday, didn't you?
I did.
Right after eating it?
It was disappointing when I realized I'd already eaten it.
Ah, there she is.
Sometimes I don't want to admit that maybe I eat a candy bar too fast and then forget that I ate it, and then go to eat it and realize I'd already eaten it.
I think we need to send Tom to Harley and grab this guy.
Didn't come with it?
I don't know, but last I checked, they didn't in the past.
That was because Harley had a patent on it, and
yeah.
this did not come with it.
Fornicator.
Right. Well, oh,
God.
God bless America. Glad it's not my tools. But we got to go to Harley and pick up one of these dudes right here. This little O-ring, I think they implemented this in 2020-ish. They were having lots of blow-by, and this was supposed to help with scavenging or some kind of bullshit like that. But S&S does not supply this because Harley has a patent on this little weird O-ring right here that has a steel. Wow, it's pretty cool actually. Like, this is a hard steel back, and it's got this big old lipper job on it here. It's like one of them chicks with the puffer fish lips.
Mm-hmm. It's a good look.
God, it is not a good look.
It's a good look.
But yeah. Can you go to the Buddy Stubbs and get one of these guys, the oil pump O-ring thingy?
That goes, yeah.
Yep, 17. That dude.
The oil pump O-ring.
Yep. I think that's the technical terminology. Since we have to stop on that project while Tom goes and makes that other stuff happen, we're gonna install this Trask checkmate breather system. This helps the crankcase ventilate, because everybody knows the head breathers on the M8s are awful. Thank God in 25 they got rid of that on the soft tails and 24 in the bagger. But this thing is a must-have. 100% probably first thing you should buy. If you buy an M8 and you have a pre-24 bagger or pre-25 soft tail, which I have this on my 24 bagger because it breathes better than the factory one. So make sure you get one of these. KruesiOriginals.com. This is a cheap fix, cheap upgrade, works really well, looks really nice, comes in black and chrome.
Come on, baby, get in there. Oh, wow, that actually came off really nice. Usually you kind of got to give them a little tap, but...
Is it rubber? Is it a rubber seal or gasket?
Rubber.
That's why.
Yeah, the old rubber seal.
Got some good stuff in there. We could 3D print that cover.
There you go. Mine's just
3D
working, dude.
3D printing muffs. Go over here. I'm doing some online CAD drawing school, and I just want to start like. It would be much easier instead of building the first thing that we make out of metal or aluminum. to just draw it up, 3D print it, test fit it, and then manufacture it. That would be probably save me a year's worth of time, realistically. So we're working on that right now. That's what I've been working on mostly is computer stuff. And I hate it. I hate it. I like making things, but man, I hate computers. It's a good test of patience that I don't have. I lost mine a long time ago.
Ignore all the fingerprints. My hands are real greasy, but this is the top trans cover from
Fucking
Trask.
greaser.
Yeah. It's a greasy I am.
Oh, greasy fingers over there. All poking around like he knows what he's doing.
There's Bubbles. We haven't heard from old Bubbles in a long
Well,
time.
just watch On the Shoulders of Kitties. That was a really good movie.
I did see in the email that you bought that movie.
Have you watched it yet?
I haven't. No.
Fantastic. Has anybody watched On the Shoulders of Kitties? The new Trailer Park Boys movie is fantastic. It was great. I did hear Bubbles just got arrested for touching some girls again or something, but
He's a weird fella.
yeah, he's not a good dude, I don't think.
Bubbles, like the guy, or like
Yeah,
Bubbles
the guy.
in the show?
The guy,
Oh, okay.
the guy in real life. I heard
right.
he's not a good person, but great show.
Plays
Damn
it.
great show. Comedic genius. Rest in peace, Lim Jehe. You've been missed.
Man, we should bring those stickers back.
Trailer Park Supervisor of the Year. My old bike used to say rest in peace, Lim Jehe. I can't believe it's been that long since he died.
Yeah. Sweet 3, dude. Sweet 3 days.
Been dead for 9 years, 8 years? What the
Easily.
Man, life is flying past me. I gotta get stoned so I slow down or something.
Man, that Try Jesus, that song, that's a good one.
I think that's him.
Really?
I think it's the same dude.
That would make sense.
Try Jesus, but don't try me, because I fight. I got no problem throwing these hands. That's a great song. Try Jesus, but don't try me, because I fight. All right, we're gonna put the oil pump in. It comes assembled, but you gotta take it apart. Can't put it in that way. So we got some gears. I'll leave it just like that. So remember, this is our first piece. That's where the nice assembly lube comes in. Comes with it. I'm gonna lube this dude up. I need to put an O-ring on this guy, which I forgot over there. Just a second. Well, I jumped ahead of you again. I need to pull that bearing out of there. I don't know if I got a bearing puller that size. I think I had to borrow one last time or make one, because it's a freakishly large bearing. Got this from our boy Jim. So I usually use just a slide hammer style inner bearing puller that I got at Harbor Freight to do inner bearings and twin cams and everything twin cam. But the M8 is got a massive bearing in it. Mine, that kit does not fit at all, so we had to actually buy an actual Jim's one, which I forgot that we even got when I went to go look for my slide hammer that doesn't fit. I found this, and it's never been open until just a minute ago. But look at that. Had it and didn't even know.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Fair enough. Pretty easy to use. It's actually way easier to use. This guy. Oh, God. Come on, fingers. Make me a liar right now. There we go. This dude pulls out. You shove this into the bearing, and then you just smack that in there. She tightens up and use this to spin it out. Carry my ball peen hammer. Croissant and I'm gonna say that's an 11/16.
You ever thought about narrating a show?
Be cool. I want to do cartoon voiceovers. That would be a dream come true. Oh my God, this thing feels so much better than pulling it with a slide hammer. Should have oiled the threads, screwed up there.
Oh man, you hack.
Man, this guy gets to watch his whole entire motorcycle build go down. This isn't a normal thing. It ain't like, come get your bike built here and we're gonna film the whole thing. It's, if this is what we've got going on at the time and it's not some other big project, we film it. Which normally, customers' bikes aren't getting filmed like this, but unless it's something really, really, really intriguing to us, or it just worked out this way. Kind of in between all the other stuff.
It did indeed just work out this way.
Ooh,
That
I
was a
made
good
one.
show.
Next
was
oh,
sick. Yeah,
shit.
Room Raiders was sick too.
yeah.
Room Raiders was dope.
I do remember
Right around
next.
Pimp My Ride.
Yep. Yeah. Pimp My Ride was good.
So I'm a little too, well.
Ended up being all fake, but.
Oh, definitely.
Nothing's
They're,
fake on
they're
TV, too.
all fake.
Really?
I've done 5 pilots for reality shows, 6, including The Bachelorette, and fake.
I remember when you did that audition, dude.
Dude,
Right during COVID too, right? Wasn't it?
maybe the beginning. No, I think before COVID.
Was it before COVID?
Maybe the beginning. I mean, I was younger and prettier.
Did a Zoom meeting with like you had a button up and just like basketball shorts and flip flops on under.
Yeah, I got picked. I was going to be on the show for nothing. It was like you had to be there for 18 weeks, and they paid you like $1,600 a week or $600 a week. It was something like not worth leaving your business unattended for. And they gave me a script of who they wanted me to be. Like, always wanted me to be the bad guy in everything that we ever did.
Yeah, well, look at you.
Always wanted me to play a villain. I'm like, just let me talk shit. It'd be funny. It would be way
You're
better.
the token bad guy, dude.
I'm the token bad guy.
The token
Always was. I
bad
did stuff for Discovery, History Channel all back in the day, and it was always like, wanted me to be the bad guy. Y'all didn't know I did some TV, did you? Might recognize me from such films as MMI info commercial at 3 a.m. in the morning. I was in all the international stuff for
If you want to be a rock star, you know, you come to MMI.
Continental Tire Company. Yeah, live life like a rock
star living, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
bike builders.
Well, back
Go to
when,
MMI.
that was also back when being a bike builder was like being a rock star.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
When
talking.
it
It got me to go to MMI.
It ain't what it was back in the early 2000s and like mid 2000s when bike building was huge and it ruled the world in the TV days and stuff.
Orange
Like,
County Choppers, West Coast Choppers.
dude, all that biker build off that made everything like, if you were building a bike and doing a bike shows, you were a rock star. And it was a good time. It was a really good time. It was good. Those were good times. It was easier back then. All right, that's in, that's out. Let me grab some lube. So here she is. I just put some lube on the old shaft, lubed this guy up really good. I'm gonna slide her on in here. You gotta push this guy into this O-ring. It is a bit of beeswax, that's what it is. Sometimes she can be a real trollop to get in there. Oh, she is a... Come on, baby. I know it's tight, but you can loosen up a little bit for a minute. Just breathe in or something. God. I think she's in there. Well, that was a tight. That one's like a tiger. It's tight. Okay.
Just smell your fingers. Yeah, I thought you just hit it real quick.
All right, I'm gonna
Got
get
a little sniffle.
silly with some assembly lube inside that bearing that we put in there. Just gonna finger blast that dude full of lubricants. And then the inside of this guy heavily. These guys go in right. Skinny guys. These dudes I'm gonna lube up. We're gonna lube everything ridiculously amount. More lube you put in this oil pump too. We're gonna fill the whole thing full of lube. Makes it easier to build oil pressure when it comes time to prime the motor. I'm gonna pump these gear heads completely full of oil, all the little holes where I can get in here, just to fill her up. Lube the shoot out of the front of it. Silly with the lubricants. Now this guy goes on next. I'm gonna lube it up real silly too.
Are you gonna need more assembly lube?
This bottle should get me through. Plate, beautifully lined, all the holes are lined up. Next we jam this big dude on here, I think. Nope. Then we go next gear job right here, which, man, this one's gonna be challenging. I'm going to lube this guy up first. We're gonna fill it full of lube. Fill them holes up. There you go. Just gonna make a mess, but give some stuff to pull through. I'm gonna fill this guy. I'm gonna move it around and get it full of lube in every single hole. Getting this lined up is sometimes fun. There we go. Man, she went together nicely. Now, fill this hole. I'm gonna generously squirt my lubricants all over inside this hole. You literally, I don't think you can use too much lube. Big lubricated doodad there. You really kind of gotta work it to try. Really getting these all lined up is a bit of a because the gyroid gears or the chocohor gears or something, they are off center. That's how it works. So you got to get this dude just right to line up on the shaft just right. Come on. Go in, baby. Come on. You're so close. Yes. There it is. Now, more lube. Cam plate ready? Blow some air through all the holes on that dude. And big lube, big hole filler. All over the place. Brake clean out here. Beautifully clean. Took a little trip in the solvent tank. We cleaned all this stuff before we put it in there. I failed to mention that that's an important piece too. Like always at least run some brake clean and some compressed air through everything before you put it in the motor. Now, cam, let me show you how easy this is these days compared to the old twin cam days. No tools necessary, except for lubricants. Man, imagine if all you needed to get through things was just a little bit of lube. Oh, I got so much lube on my hands I can't squeeze the tube anymore. Yeah, squeeze me a bunch in there. That's good. Beautiful. Definitely want all this stuff lubed up because you don't want it firing off dry. Oh yeah, look at that. Slides in there. That's all you got to do. We're gonna lube this guy up here, heavy. Blast me right here really good. Okay. Squirt whatever's left in these holes. Fill them things up. Oh, here. Not the holes itself, just fill the trough. That's all she's got. It's in. See you tomorrow. Just kidding. But dude, no pressing tools, no pressing bearings, no lining shit. Which we got to set all this stuff up on the face now, but it's so much better. The M8 is so much better to work on. Every motor has just become simpler as it goes. Getting the top off, the oil lines off the early M8s suck, but 24 and up, they don't have that anymore. It's crankcase breather. 25 and up Softails, 24 and up bagger. Super easy, really nice to work on. This is such a better design. Thank you, Harley Davidson. Now I just need to put one of these motors in a dyna.
Bring the dyna back.
This is the Fueling M8 crank runout tool. They make one for twin cams and M8. They're both available on our website. It's always a good idea to check this when you got this apart. Oh, Trent, didn't let you know. Put it in 6th gear. She rolls around really easy. Wow, that's probably the truest crank I've ever seen in my entire life. Wow. It's only a half thou out.
Really? In the bike that's impressive.
Also, when you take your bike to a shop and they're like, yo, you've got 3,000s to run out, we're gonna have to do a bottom end. They're lying to you. That's an absolute lie. 2,000s run out is spec. Out of the case in a truing stand, it's spec 2,000s. In the case, in the motor, spec, Harley spec is 11,000s. Most of the time, from factory, brand new, you're gonna see 5. 2 to 5, I've seen 30 in a brand new crank over the years. Someone telling you you need to change a crank because you got 2000s to run out is scamming you.
That didn't change, right, with twin cam and M8?
I don't think so. Maybe we should look.
Let me check that real quick.
You know what? Maybe I'm just speaking twin cam.
Let me
but
check that.
Twin cam, anyways, there's a difference between run out in the case and run out on a truing stand. Most shops I have seen over the years, I've bought some really cheap dynos with some blown up motors from guys that took them to shops and then they took them apart and told them their motor was blown because they had 2000s run out. And we measured them and they had 2000s run out, so we put the top end back on and sold them for a large profit.
Run out shaft measured in the case is 12 thousandths. That's just in the case, so it doesn't matter in or out of the bike. Is 12 thousandths, and then run out measured on a truing stand, like crank out on a truing stand itself, is 5 thousandths.
Wow, so I was being tighter than what it is.
Yeah.
So 5 thousandths, so we hear this all the time, people telling us that shops told them they got 2000s run out and they need to change their crank. So on a truing stand, it's 5 thousandths. That's an M8. I know on a twin cam it's 2, so it's more generous on an M8 apparently. 5 thousandths and 12 thousandths in the case. That means he has half a thou of run out. We could have 11.5 thou more of run out and still be absolutely fine. So when somebody's telling you that, ask them, is that in the cases or is that in a truing stand? Which, if they haven't pulled the motor all the way down to the flywheels, it's 100% not in a truing stand. Half a thou I've never seen. Never ever.
No, that's good. Usually they're like 1 to 3.
That's damn good. Even on like fresh built cranks, like I've never seen a dark horse on 0. And that's a damn good crank, you know, like, yeah. It's Harley Davidson, it's never gonna be. These are big, giant steel flywheels, and if they were 100% like balanced and true, they don't run as good. They're made to be clunky.
So the robot that put this motor together was having a good day.
Yeah, that's a person. And a, assembly line. Oof, I got her gooey. I'm gonna spruce it up a boot.
Now that Ryan has generously blown his lube all over this thing, we're gonna get her back in the case. Now it's my turn.
Old sloppy second Trent, huh?
You know? Oh, yeah, there she goes. All right, I got the instructions on my phone. And the first thing is, you want to start with your pinion shaft, with the flat spot on your pinion shaft, that's where you set your timing, facing up towards the crankshaft, or camshaft. A lot of shafts. And you start with the oil pump screws. They're letter coordinated, A, B, C, and D. And I originally had the book out, the service manual to do this, but the torque sequence for the S&S plate and the factory plate are a lot different. Chris from Modded Cultures over here teaching Ryan how to do online ad stuff. Got to loosely install all the cam plate bolts. Nothing is snugged up yet at all, per the directions. 3. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After they're all snug, it says torque screws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in order to 90 to 120 foot-pounds. Inch-pounds. Ooh. Which is 10 foot-pounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then rotate the crankshaft 2 complete revolutions, and we'll count with this flat spot facing up. We'll go 1, 2, and then torque the oil pump after that. So we're gonna count the revolutions of this flat spot here. Go 1, And 2. Now we'll go ahead and torque the oil pump. Spinning the crankshaft like that with the cam plate torque just centers the oil pump on the pinion shaft of the crank. So it's not all like wonky and so it spins nice and flat, pushes the oil in the proper places. And these get torqued also to 120 inch-pounds. All right, that guy's in. Now we'll go to the cam sprocket and crank sprocket, and I'll show you how to align all that stuff and put that on too. Install both of these bolts, cam sprocket and crank sprocket, and then measure with a straight edge and a feeler gauge.
That's really all you need. That's
All right, so you got to torque each of these to 15 foot-pounds to check this. Make sure they're both seated.
Man, you're really doing it by the book.
I mean, the guy's watching, man. I have to.
Oh, by the book, Trent. Man, read the book.
What
Make
the
sure you
hell's
do it
going on
right.
here?
You're not doing it good enough.
I'm not. You're right. I'm not locking this guy down right. Here she is.
Be
Yeah.
coming at it from the right side.
Yeah, it has
You
my
can just
angles all
tap both
dicked
those
off.
with your gun and call it a day.
Yeah, but that's not right, Ryan.
It is. It's Ryan.
Ryan, right?
Yeah, it's not right if it's not Ryan. If it's Ryan, it's right.
Oh, wow, that mother.
Did you not learn anything in the Church of Ryanthology?
You want to make sure the straight edge is sitting flat on the crankshaft sprocket before you do this. And you could tell by your eye that this is way off, but you shouldn't be able to fit that guy behind the straight edge. 9/1000 is the spec. So that guy fits with some room, so we need to get a bigger spacer for the back of that guy, which I have a box of over here. All right, so I'm gonna pull off the cam sprocket, set that aside, grab this spacer that was originally in it. Got little numbers there. This is a 110 thou. So I need a bigger spacer, so I'm gonna go up until I get the right size. It's a lot of on, off, until you find the right guy. I think this is it, 150. That's what we're looking for. She's not fitting. So she ain't going in. Finally got it. The 150 was the trick. Now we need to time this thing. And the wonderful engineers over at Harley gave us these little timing marks to go off of. Just like that. Line up the dots. You want to get the camshaft. There's a little keyway on top of the splines, or in the splines. One's thicker. You want that guy facing up, and the flat on the crankshaft facing up also. And then you just line the dots, and she's timed. Both of these guys get torqued to 15 foot-pounds and then loosened one whole rotation. And then retorque to 34 foot-pounds and 24 foot-pounds. Come on, baby. Yeah. This is the updated primary, or the cam chain tensioner. As Ryan was saying earlier, this has that, like, he called it cantilever. I don't know if that's right or wrong or what it's called, but it's got one piston pushing it up on like a pivot point. Where this guy, should probably opened it first. This guy has spring and piston directly center and has a big aluminum housing guiding it straight. There's a difference. Bam, the more you know. These guys get torqued to 120 inch-pounds. And just like that, S&S cam chest is installed. Hope you learned a lot on this journey. I sure did.
If Trent fires those things home, I'm going to say goodbye to you for the day. This is Kruesi Originals. That's putting a cam chest in an M8. Next, we'll be doing a big bore on this. We're going to be putting a fairing together, some fancy lights, fancy handlebars. We're going to show you how to wire up brake switches on a RCS 19. There's a lot to come, so like, subscribe, ring that bell, go to KruesiOriginals.com and buy some stuff. It'll be cool as hell. Peace.